I got a great panel this morning. Republican strategist Erin Elmore is with me this morning, Fox Business Network.
Cook responds to whether the iPhone 10.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see a lot of advertising for the 10 right now.
Yeah, and we're so used to, Erin, obviously, to having these big iPhone announcements, but investors are kind of thinking, nah, not so great anymore.
I need a new one, I know that much, but they're saying that the new one is likely going to come out in September, which they can help for fourth quarter, so that should be an interesting fourth quarter.
Well, we
say this is a good strategy.
Erin, that's a really good point. The midterms is going to be all about the economy. Is it going to be a good or a bad story?
Right, because what Trump sees this is a long play, and when you have a midterm election of such significance and importance, long plays really don't work. But he is a businessman. We know the art of the deal. He is the art of the deal. This is a way, like he showed with his meetings in Europe, to squeeze these people and say, hey, I promised you on the campaign trail in 2016 that I was going to make things fair for America, NAFTA included, and we're all starting to see these things happen and change. So the long play may be shortened and the midterms could be saved. We have to wait and see.
But to Lee's point about...
Erin, you know, James Carville said it best, that famous quote, it's the economy, stupid. That quote still rings true today.
At the end of the day, I think, and Lee would probably know even better than I, but the average American isn't worrying about Stormy Daniels and all of these controversies. They're worrying about paying their bills and sending their kids to school and making sure that their taxes are within range. And the American people really do care about that. And the economy is working, as the Raging Cajun said himself.
But what's interesting there, I love James Carville, but you know, at this...
Hi, Jonathan. Good morning. So I know you're a hedge fund guy. Hedge funds had, according to Goldman Sachs, more than 10% of hedge funds count Facebook as a top holding. Was this a big hit to those hedge funds, or you think this is going to rebound pretty quickly?
Well, no, I mean, listen, you can't follow the crowd, whether you're an individual investor or whether a hedge fund or anyone else. You have to try to get ahead of the crowd. So
themselves not being presented on social media nearly as much as they were. You know, people have lost traffic, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. And Erin, you could comment on that. I mean, you're seeing the same thing with...
Absolutely. I just had an experience recently with Candace Owens. I was liking various Twitter comments that she had made, and all of the likes were disappearing. And when you try to contact these social media platforms about this, you get absolute radio silence. And people often speak about Facebook only. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg.
Right.
What people fail to understand, if I'm not correct here, is that Instagram is also owned by Facebook. So this is truly pervasive across all of our social media platforms. What do we do? What is the government to do? What are consumers to do?
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things that's really interesting about this is that social media they're unlike phone companies in that the phone companies don't get blamed for what is said on the phone. But social media they've decided that they're going to police their content. So, you know, they're saying we're going to cut out fake news.
Is it flamethrowers?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Or is it now surfboards?
It is.
Driverless surfboards.
Now it's surfboards, exactly.
Driverless surfboards.
You know, and
I need one of those, I think.
And he's, you know, and also too his behavior on Twitter. I mean, that's actually affected the stock prices
Significantly.
You know, I mean, because it's like, okay, if you're going to get on and yell at somebody on Twitter, you should be focusing on the growth of the company and the numbers.
It was more than yelling. He thought it was a real insult.
Really inflammatory terms.
Yeah.
Well, they're calling on the Donald Trump of the business world, right?
Oh, I hadn't heard that, but
Donald Trump
thanks for telling us. Lucky 19.
And what about NASCAR for a second? So Kyle Busch has been winning. I'm a huge NASCAR fan to the degree that I know cars, which isn't that great. But Kyle Busch, she's been winning a lot. But every time you go, they're booing him.
Well, unfortunately, Dagan is not here today.
I know. I just was thinking that too.
It's a requirement that whoever is going to sit in that seat.
She talks about NASCAR.
Yeah,
all I know.
Yeah, Erin, you messed up.
Well, all I know is that when I went and saw him at Charlotte Speedway, it was boo, boo, boo. Maybe it's because he's on top. So.
I lost my brakes on a 64 Studebaker, so I know what it's like to lose your brakes, but that was more a testament to how terrible I am as a mechanic than it is to driving like NASCAR.
Well, I'm glad you both made it out okay.
Yes.
We're all here this morning. Jared,
sorry to put you on the spot.
No, we're all good.
Yeah, I got that. All of that coming up with me this morning. Republican strategist Erin Elmore is here, Fox Business Network's Adam Shapiro.
Said this earlier, you can separate the man from the agenda, and that's what the vice president does so well, is really point out what they're accomplishing, the jobs, the economy, what they're doing on trade.
Yeah.
I think it was a really great inside look to how he thinks and that balance that's working out there.
That's interesting. Erin?
I just see when I watch him his authenticity, and you can see someone who truly cares about our country and honestly making it great again. He's so proud of the president's agenda. He's proud that, you know, unemployment is low and things are going well in terms of we're working on NAFTA. He touched on all of those things that Donald Trump was pushing in 2016 and now that are coming to fruition. And just to see him talk about those, you can see his just sincerity and how proud he is to be an American and to be doing this civil service job.
Yeah, he does seem very, and I love his faith. I love how much his faith drives him in his life, and his wife as well.
His family.
Yeah.
The thing that
Premium, yeah. We happen to have on set today Erin Elmore, who is the ultimate Venmo stalker, it turns out. Listen to this, Kurt.
So Kurt, first of all, to change these, I don't want people to get too scared at home, because all you have to do is swipe one button, and then all of your transactions are private. So let that be told. However, two occurrences. One, if you go through your friend and say, hey, my friend Stacy has a really good nanny, you go to her Venmo and you see she pays Bethany for childcare. I've seen people poach nannies and actually steal nannies from Venmo.
Right.
Taking it one step
And you find out what they're paying for the nannies, so you may have an advantage to pay the
she's
nannies.
She's paying $25. Right? You say, I'll pay you $30. Guess who doesn't have a babysitter or a nanny anymore?
Erin, you
that's
are
the
good.
marketplace.
Also,
you are good.
Let's make it even worse. Let's take this a little more Povich for you here. You can steal someone's, you can find out if someone's cheating on you or your boyfriend or something. You find out, hey, so-and-so is friends with this girl. I don't know who this girl is. And then you find out on her Venmo page, they're paying for each other's dinners, sending heart emojis, kissy emojis. You better turn your privacy settings on private, or else think you're going to have no babysitter and no girlfriend. So be very careful.
Erin, we've got a new career for you. My gosh.
Cyber stalking.
Her private investigation skills are available online via Venmo.
But what do you think? Do you think these are really things that can happen to other people, or am I just crazy with crazy friends and know a lot of cyber stalking skills?
I think this is a real problem. I think you're right. I think this is a real problem. And now that we've educated a lot of people on how to do this, fact is, what Erin is saying is correct. You can make your transactions private, but Venmo does no big favor to us to help us do that.
Make your Venmo private. That's it.
official
So that
stalker.
Erin can't stalk you.
Doing it right now.
This is the best. That
Cheryl
does it for-
Casoni.
Here we go. Varney and Company up next. Charles Payne in for Stuart. Take it away, Charles.